welcome back. It's now the next weekend, and I'm not sure exactly what I was working on, so I've just opened up the project on GitHub, and I'm just going to jump straight into the issues. That way I can see what I had. So I have publishing on npm, global command, and styling the output. Styling is kind of a thing I want to do later on because it doesn't really affect the functionality, it's just making it pretty. Making a global command is probably the next one I want to do because I know I want to settle on a name here that I want to use, and I do want to figure out a name before I publish on npm. So just click into that one. That's pretty much all the prompting I need. So we want to be able to do npm install -g, and I have a note here about some info that I can use. So that's something that I found that I thought would be useful. And the only other thing to do is settle on a name. And so actually, a little while ago, I jumped into npm and just searched for the names I wanted. So I was thinking like what, which already exists, what, which also exists, and then I tried what. That doesn't exist, so as long as I get that published before anybody else takes that name, then I'll be fine. So that's what I'll go with. So basically what I want to do is look for renaming project on GitHub, which I think I've seen before, and it's a fairly simple procedure. So I might normally not have this issue of having to rename because I might have done all this preliminary work and decided on a final name before I started working, but in this case I wanted to have that Git history so that it's easy to follow along right from the beginning, since that's what this video series is about. Right, so some stuff about this is just about what happens when you rename it. So just see if I have a simple way to rename here. Settings, repository name, here we go. So I'll just try setting that like that. Oh, that was easy. Now my remote repository is still pointing at the wrong place, so you have to update that remote. I think they do forward the URL, but let's see how the GitHub for Windows client handles that. You might be able to provide some support there. If you reuse the old repository name by creating a new repository or renaming an existing one, it will break the redirects. Right, got it. So if I make another thing called API doc fetcher later, it will break it. What happens if I just sync that? Let's try creating one. Local path. I'll get back out of this one. Thought I had a menu before. So close this. Look at that. useful. It doesn't seem very helpful at all. So where's my menu? Let me just press this menu button. Alt F. Right click. Just let me go home, you silly thing. Repository settings. No. Out. No, it doesn't make for a very exciting video. Oh, there we go. Decline. I was just going to say it doesn't make for a very exciting video, but this is the kind of stuff you have to figure out. That's the downside of a GUI tool, is that you can learn the command line, but that doesn't mean you necessarily know how to find everything in the UI. It's much harder to describe it, and you don't necessarily find as much support for it. So what I want is my renamed version. So I might just clone that. So it's basically downloading another copy of my code under the different name. And then maybe I can just remove this one. So maybe this is a local one only. So remove. And now I bet if I look in that list, I won't see API doc fetch anymore. Okay, good. So that was the procedure there. Add the new one, remove the old one. And now I'll have to, I had that project open in here, but I'm not sure whether that's removed it from disk completely. The extra options on this menu are from an extension I got to Sublime Text, so you may not see them if you're using basic Sublime Text. Is open and explore. Let's open that. No, let's shut. Anyway, just open the other folder. So I should see something in those documents. Just that one. I still have all the local files there. I'll just leave them there in case there's some local change I made that I've forgotten to deal with. And I'll just close that. Okay, so that's the name of the repository changed. I'll just edit my package.json to update the name. So now we're just calling it this. And that should be everything. Yeah, I need to update that as well. And that. And that one as well, actually. Could have done that a bit more efficiently by just finding all of them. Good, okay, so I can't see more of that. And at some point I'll update my usage instructions in main script. So instead of this, I'll just say WAHT, but I'll leave that for now since first I want to go through these instructions here. So init, already got that. Creating file, I've already got files. So it's got index.js. Now this is what I want, the module file, I think. Bin test-module.js. Alright, so I'll do that. Bin folder, which is usually put anything that's compiled in that, which in this case is not really there's test-module. I'm going to name mine the name of this module. Okay. So we need to have a hashbang line. So in scripts, having a line with hashbang and then something is basically saying that the environment should run in is node. So just saying run this script with node. And it lets it generate it. What have they got? They've just got some code that's doing something. Joining paths. Alright, so what I need to do here is basically just install, require a thing. Module equals require. Now it'll be relative, so I need to get dot dot to get out of the bin directory, and just index.js. And actually, not really exporting anything from index.js at the moment. That's just running a script. So I could just copy this whole script into there. So I'll do that. It's not going to be a good structure. So they've just got basically just that script is just running code. Don't use npm link. Right. Okay, so this is just a package.json, and this bin section is the so I've got bin that exec test.js. Okay, so I'll do that, and then I'll fix up the script so that it actually works. I should just make that script log something initially, just so that I can make sure that it does work. Let's put it here. So just adding the bin key. And I think its value is an object. Semicolon, comma. And in there we need, I guess, module name dash exec. Let's see how it goes. And they've also got prefer global true. Let's put that next to that since it's related. npm install globally dot, so current directory. No, they've got dash exec on there, but I don't want that. I think I just want to use this name so that when I execute it, I just type that part. So what I might do is just make this script print args. I'm not sure whether that script will get the args that the program got. It might just run the code. I might just leave it like that and see what happens. So Need to open the Node.js command prompt and get that to documents directory. Documents, my documents. Where is that even located? The Windows directory structures just always confused me. Documents, documents, my documents. GitHub. Okay. Does that even make sense? It should just be documents. Slashes this one. GitHub. There we go. Okay. Should be ready to go. Now npm install globally dot, which is the current directory. Try that. So that, I guess that's globally installing all of the dependencies, which is a lot more than I've got. So I've got an error there, but a lot of these will be brought in by other modules. So what's this? It's having trouble with permissions by the look of it. Okay, install globally that. Error number 34. Okay. So I'm going to search for the error number just to try and get some info about what's going on. Let's need to make sure this has quick edit mode on. Yes. No, and number 34. Looks like what I'm looking for. And a few other people having the same issue. So 34. Okay, that's not actually useful. You should be looking in here. System command. I'll just grab these additional login details first. So I'll just copy that and put it into here. Let's Control V. And so it opens it there. Interesting. So what happened? Something at the end. Post uninstall. So that's the little bit I could see. useful any of that is to me. I'm not experienced with reading these. I might persist with Google there just to see if I can find anything. I haven't created this folder. Cleaning cache, setting in chemical more. Let's try number 34. Chmod, so it might be something to do with permissions. That looks similar to what I'm seeing. So, it's ignoring /lib. Having a blank npm ignore file. Let's try that. So, this new file .npm ignore and leave it blank. Save that. I'll try that again. So if it's ignoring everything in git ignore, it'll be ignoring the node modules. That looks like it's getting further than it did before. Yeah, seems like it. So, okay, that looks like it worked. I might just open a new command window and just see if I can type that in and recognize it as it. Yes, there we go. I've got the usage. What is the math.average? Is there even math.average? Probably AVG syntax. Don't know if it works with the wrong case. Math.max. Alright, it's working globally. That's nice. So I guess I just make sure the code is clean. Leave that there. So this is basically just the script is just running the main script, which is fine. Oh yeah, so I'll also update that usage in the index. Where do I put it? Index.js. I could also move all of these to lib. Might as well do that, just to keep it a bit more organized. So new folder, move index and other JS files into there. Let's do that in a. Neither of those are what I want. Browser is that? Yes, there we go. So I'll just move all these JS files into lib. Oh, that's actually confusing a little bit because I had them open, so it thinks it's creating new files. Okay, so I'll just add lib into the path there, and then I guess all of the relative paths in here will still be the same. So that should be sufficient, actually. And that's good to know. That means that I can easily separate the code from the configuration, which is nice. I should just make sure that still works. Just try reinstalling. Just be re-downloading all of those, even though it shouldn't really need to. It seems like it works. And I should just try opening this. Well, that's where it's actually linked to. Just open that path in Explorer, just so I can verify that that is indeed getting the updated contents. Just edit. Yep, that looks right. Cool. So that's all done. Right, now I'll just open that in those changes. So there's what? Let's make that a bit bigger. Show the uncommitted changes. So we've got files deleted and new. So that's how Git tracks moved files. It just records that they're gone from somewhere and they appeared somewhere else. And then when you look at the difference, it just shows it as moved. So let me just expand. Not all of them. I don't want to see the. Well, pretty much nothing here was changed. Oh, I haven't updated the usage, so that will change. But I just created that empty npm ignore and changed some things in package.json, which was mainly updating the names. And this is, I guess I've done sort of two things in one commit, but that'll be okay. It's not the end of the world. It's just slightly less user-friendly if I'm going and messing with history later. Alright, so usage is in index.js, and I just want to change that to say art, and page, and section, page, section. Cool. That's pretty much all I need. I think that will look good. So just do node index stringify. We established that was. Oh, I'm about to find out whether it's really case sensitive because I know that exists. Cannot find module. What slash? Oh yeah, it's because I'm trying to call something that does not exist. Not finding request. That's a bit odd. So have I broken something? That's not my code there. It's not finding request module in there. First equals require request. Oh, yeah, I did something stupid here. I've checked out a new copy of the code, and so that brought across all of my code that I checked into, that I've checked into Git, but I didn't install my modules because I don't want to check those in. I'll just be copying other people's code. So the standard thing to do when you check out a node project is check it out and then run npm install, which downloads all the modules, And so now if I run that command I was trying to run before, that should now be running, and that's worked. That has strange wrapping because of the size of the width of the buffer. Okay, so that's working, and I should be able to run that with no arguments and make sure I get the appropriate help, which is right. So that will do. Okay, so now that's all the changes I wanted. That should not have changed. It's showing it as a new file because I've both moved it and changed it, so it's better to do that as separate commits, so it's easier to see, but I have updated that. And yes, I do want to record the fact that I've removed those. So yeah, I'll make that commit now. So this is change name to that. Some quotes around that. And configure global install. Install, and just a side note, so moved code files to lib. So again, that's a change I should have probably split into another commit, but that'll be fine for now. Is there anything else? No, that'll do. So I'll sync that. And assuming that works, that should do for this video. Done. Okay, thanks for watching.